YouTube? Welcome back to UniX TCG, and today we are going to be going over more Set 2 news, because not only do we have all 4 leaders at this point, but we also have a scan from VJump. Not a leak, but a scan from VJump in Japan talking about some of the SRs. So a couple things I want to get into right before we go into the meat and potatoes of the video is, one, we have a 100 like goal. Been getting some great support for Fusion World, and don't worry, One Piece fans, we're gonna get back. We're restructuring the content, but we're gonna get back to that. But we've been getting a lot of great support, so if we can just break 100 likes again, that would be much appreciated. Second, I do want to let you guys know that we are once again sponsored by Mystic TCG, and realistically, I'm going to get into that a little bit later in the video. However, you can go in the description and see that you can use the code UniXTCG at checkout to actually get percentages off on your pre-orders and purchases, and that pretty much just covers any game that's popular right now in the TCG sphere. So with that being said, let's hop over into the content. Alright, so with this being said, we have a little bit of news to go over. So returning to the Goku leader that we've already seen, of course he's a 15k on his front side, draw 1 and attacking, but then he awakens at 3 life or less, and then you draw a card and put this card over. Going from there, you have a 20k base leader. When attacking, draw 1 card, and then once per turn, discard 1 cost from your hand, one card from your hand, play up to 1 battle card with a 20k power or less, turn into power, and a special trace from your hand. So this is actually really, really cool, right? And we are currently in a place where this seems like a lot of these leaders you're going to see are very dependent on what we get in this set. But luckily, VJump has provided 4 SRs to kind of give us a further scope of what's going on here. Now, I say scans, I'm not saying leaks, because these are not leaks. VJump is a very popular manga distributor in Japan, responsible for getting out things like Dragon Ball, getting out things like Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that comes out of there. So this is intentional because this game is worldwide. So Japan is going to go in on the marketing as well. But we have four things right here. Right now, you should be seeing Zamasu and Kefla, and these are all SRs that we're going to be going over outside the leaders. But we have the scans here, and this is just excellent because whether you're using your we had some translations floating around the Discord, but I noticed actually once I had my own translator app, as well as some friends from Japan who were also reading the scanlations, I feel like there's a couple of things that weren't congruent with the details there. So I'm just going to read off of what they translated for me and what I pieced together off of my own translator. But what we have here is Kefla, and Kefla actually says there's a permanent, and if your leaders awaken, this card gains 5k power. So that's awesome. It's going to come out at 20k, and that's going to have 5. But the really cool part is, on play, you're drawing a card. Then you play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less with the TOP trait. So this is going to be excellent. This card has a 10k combo power, so it's going to be great in hand where you need to defend yourself before you awaken, or if you draw it afterwards but you don't need to use it yet. It's got a cost of 4, so it's going to be safe from things like androids, and it's 20k that goes up to 25k. This is all I wanted to see. The other cool part is you're already discarding a card to bring out this card, but the fact that it's going to draw when it happens is just chef's kiss, and it's going to play something else. So we are at a point where we're starting to see some of the support shape together, and if we have more cards like this, I think Son Goku is going to be a superb leader. Like, just cards, I don't even care what the rest of the card does. If the card also goes from 20 to 25, or maybe we even get like a boss monster that goes up to 30 somehow with some sort of condition, but like, you have this and it drawing, we're going to start seeing a lot of good combos. If you have another card like a 3 cost or less that also draws when it comes into play, you're going to be able to discard a card and make 2 bodies, and they're both going to replace themselves in hand. I mean, you discarded 1 card in hand to put 2 bodies on play, and they're all going neutral or higher on your opponent's leader. That is what I want to see from a deck that has to get to 3 to awaken. So very, 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 very happy about this Kefla showing her face and her effect. It gives me a lot of hope for this leader. Now moving on, we have the Zamasu, and this Zamasu is cool because it's bringing our second 25k leader on Awaken side to the game. But much like Broly, there seems to be a little caveat on what it can do in terms of draw power. So yes, when attacking and at when attacking you're gonna draw a card, and at 3 or less life you draw one card and flip this card over. Base 25, activate main once per turn. 1, discard one card from your hand. If your life is at 2 or less, add the top card of your deck to your life. So here's the thing. If you guys have played One Piece, you guys should know Anel is also pseudo draw. Every time you put a card from the top of your deck to your life, unless somebody hits you with banish, or in this case crit, you're getting that card to your hand and it's another card. So essentially, much like Broly doesn't draw and swing, but has to destroy an energy to then draw, this leader is also going to essentially discard a card from hand to put a card on the top of your deck. So you're really breaking even. This tells me a couple of things. This tells me that this deck is likely going to see a few themed cards that are going to draw you. I can easily see this deck having some sort of card where if it's going to fit the blue motif, be like 7 or less cards in hand. When this card is played, draw a card, or when this card attacks, draw a card, or adding stuff from the trash to your hand. There has to be a way to accrue cards because this leader stops drawing once he's awakened. And yes, you have a pseudo draw, but I can easily see just a couple of cards helping that out. You're also gonna have the peel off engine to back it up once you start getting low on hand, so that's actually pretty cool too. But this is gonna have some interesting longevity. Now, I don't know about the effectiveness of this leader when it comes to this game, because unlike One Piece, everything in here swinging the turn it gets down. So you could be at 2 life and go up to 3, but then have all 3 of those life punched out of you the following turn. So we really do have to see how this one works, and this is probably out of the bunch, probably tied for first for what cards need to come out in the set to make this leader good. But we have its SR, or one of its SRs at the very minimum, and that is a 2-cost Zamasu. This guy has a base 20k, 5k combo power, and it's pretty cool. Permanent, this card cannot be removed from battle area by your opponent's skills, and then when attacking, discard 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card. So this is not quite what I wanted to see for drawing, because this is still a break even, and there's a lot of break even. We need some pluses. We need a card that every time it turns sideways, you just draw a card. So fingers crossed for that. But this is really cool. Permanent, this card cannot be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. That includes bouncing to hand, that includes tucking to the bottom of the deck, that includes destroying. So the only way you can get rid of this is by minusing. Well, I say minus, by minusing. Usually coming from red cards, pretty much right now all coming from red cards. So this is going to make a Zamasu that's a lot safer to play for the Goku Black decks, a lot stickier unless you are facing red, which was already a kind of gaping hole in that deck strategies. But this is going to be a good guy. He can swing in. If you turn him sideways, he can be destroyed by battle, so like just understand that. But this is going to include some, let's pretty much create some longevity for your Zamasu cards for Goku Black, but also allow you to speed through your deck to find some of your better cards. Now, the next one that we have here is the Cell Leader, and man, this art looks cool. I can't wait to see the alt art. So this is when attacking, draw 1 card, and when your life is at 4 or less, draw 1 card, flip this card over. Okay. Now, Awakening. When attacking, draw 1 card. Activate main once per turn. If you have 5 energy, add up to 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop tier energy. So there's some weird things I have to say about this one. 1, most green decks want to stall the Awakening as long as possible, because once they get to a certain stage of the game, they are playing on a different playing field. It is much easier to win, it's much easier to play a potentially unfair game once green gets past 7 energy. So with that being said, staying at 6 life for a while can be good. It also gives you some insurance against things like Broly when it comes down, later in the game. But this leader is at a weird space, because if you awaken past 6 energy, he's just a vanilla that's a 20k that draws a card, essentially. He's not getting an effect. So you probably want to awaken with this card no later than your turn 5. And on your turn 5, you can activate his ability to go from 5 to 6 energy. Now, granted, this can be very, very interesting because you have a curve now. If you were to use Destructive Strength, not knowing any of the other cards, like if you were to use Destructive Strength on turn 3 or turn 2 with the coin, then use Vegeta to go from 3 or 4 energy to 5 energy, you can start up your next turn. Now, granted, this is actually the harder part about it. This is the harder part about it. Unless we get some sort of like card for green, there's no way to Destructive Strength into Vegeta into your leader effect unless your opponent is just giving you mad cards. Like mad cards. And even then, that would mean that you skip charge if you were going to play Vegeta. You would need to play like a Self Awakener. If we get like a 1-drop Self Awakener, you need to play that, then play maybe a 2-drop, and then Destructive Strength, and then you need to somehow awaken, but also I don't think this is an effect you use on curve. But the fact that it says if you have 5 more energy, add up to 1 card with a cost of 3 from your drop 2 energy, I don't expect them to make a leader where you can only use the effect once. So this is an instant flag that we're going to start getting some very One Piece purple-like effects where you have to kill energy to use effects. And this is going to be pretty cool. Now I'm wondering what we're looking at because the numbers are pretty much endless. We're probably going to get a card that takes away 2 to 3 because I can't imagine, like, if you get up to 8 energy ramping and you can only get down to 6 and 7 energy for the rest of the game, how are you using this effect? So we might get like a energy -3 and energy -4 because I see that's a heavy payoff with probably a heavy effect coming off of it, and then it allows you to get back to 5. But this leader is the most interesting to me because I can't see how you use this effect on curve, but I also can't see how it needs so much going into its design. But hopefully the next card can let us know what about the design we could be looking forward to. And this one is Trunks Future. It's a 3 cost, and it says on play if you have 5 or more energy, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your energy in rest mode. Auto once per turn. When your battle card with a cost of 5 or more is removed from the battle area by your opponent, this card gains plus 10,000 power until the end of your next turn. Now there's a lot of cool things that flag up with this card. One, it's saying if you have 5 or more energy, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your energy in rest mode. This card is not meant to be played on curve, once again. So whether you're at 5 energy or 4 energy and you're somehow awakened, you go up to 5 and you play this guy for 3 and then you ramp. I don't know. I don't know because I don't see Cell being awakened that early. We don't have stupid awakening cards like that. However, there is a very important thing I can see going here. Auto once per turn. When your battle card with a cost of 5 or more is removed from the battle area by your opponent, this card gains plus 10,000 power until the end of your turn. This is literally Trunks in the moment he hits Super Saiyan for the first time, which is when he loses Future Gohan. So, look, I'm gonna say it what it is. We're getting a Future Gohan in this set. There's no way that we just have Cell and they just show us this and we're not getting a Future Gohan. Furthermore, that Future Gohan is probably going to cheat in this Trunks. There's just too many things here that make sense. This Trunks says when your battle card with a cost of 5 or more is removed, essentially, like when it leaves the battlefield. And with that being said, if you have to be at 5 energy just to use its ramp effect, all this tells me right here is that you're going to actually play a 5-drop Future Gohan who is probably going to cheat a Trunks in. The Trunks is going to ramp you from 5 to 6, and then if that Gohan goes anywhere, that Trunks gets stronger. So I really do think that that's right then and there the absolute immediate tell to what this is going to be doing. So that's just me on that one. And then we next have the yellow leader, which is the Vegeta, and Vegeta says when attacking, draw 1 card. Awaken when this card's at 4 life or less. Draw a card, flip this card over. Now when attacking, you draw a card. End of your turn, switch up to 2 of your rest mode energy to active mode. This is pretty easy. I don't really know how to really go harder than this. This one is a blank slate until we know more what we're getting in this set. It just is. But when it comes to that, we have pretty much right now just Death Ball that's being activated on your opponent's turn, and that's good, but we need to see more, and so far they haven't given us more. I'm sure they're gonna let it wait until later. Whether this is gonna be the first extra card SR we get, that will be very interesting, but we need some of these cards, or they can be a lot of activate battle effects that we get on battle cards. But we have a monster of a card that we're getting in yellow. So this is actually pretty crazy. We have activate battle, and this is a 1-drop Bulma, 5k power, 5k combo power. Activate battle, switch this card to rest mode, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose one. You can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less to switch to rest mode, or if you have a rest mode battle card with a cost of 3 or more, draw 1 card. So this is actually insane, because essentially what you can do is you can play a 3-drop, or you can have a 3-drop on board, right? Attack with it, draw a card. Or sorry, you attack with it, and then you play this, and you take a life, and you turn this to the side, you turn in the rest mode. Yeah, you switch this to rest mode, you take card to your life, and then if you've already attacked with a 3 cost or more, you can then draw a card. Then on top of that, that can lead you to your awaken. Like, let's see, that's turn 4. If your opponent's been attacking you, or if you played a self-awaken and they've attacked you, this could be what actually does it. And I really like that. Now, it being a cost of 3 or more prevents you from doing things like playing, you know, like things like the 2-cost Frieza from the starter deck, and then gaining a life off of that, then playing this, and then turning it to the side, and then gaining a life off of that, and then drawing. That'd be pretty insane, because this is not leader locked. You can use this in pretty much any deck. Actually, this is actually kind of insane, because in Frieza, it can keep untapping this, and this can be a constant draw engine on top of a card that can turn something sideways. So I think that this is a monster dub. This is a crazy card, and it's an SR, so I'm pretty sure it's SPR. It's gonna go crazy, but I just think this is just a great card. Switch it to rest mode, and then you can pick up a life if you need to, and you can either rest something to swing on it to keep it pinned down, because you already know yellow has those effects already, and they're probably going to get more of them. And then, you know, if you have a rested battle card, 3 or more, you draw a card. This is just value on value on value, and probably become a generational yellow staple for this game, I think. So with that being said, those are all the cards that we have from those scans, as well as all of the leaders. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do want to let you guys know that something that's going to be cool happening with this set, or with the future sets, is that now that I'm sponsored by Misty TCG again, I'm going to have access to a case per opening, or per set. And it's going to start with OPO 7 for One Piece, and it's going to start with Fusion World in set 3 forward. So with that being said, because I have those locked in, I can go to my local game stores, and as long as the Patreon is bringing in enough money for me to do this, I can go to my local game stores and I can pick up my allocation there. You know, 1 box, the 2 box they allow me to buy, and those could be split up for giveaways on the Patreon. So I'm gonna start writing articles again. The one that I'm currently cooking up will be out this week. It's actually on the screen right now. It's breaking down green. It's gonna be the comprehensive, comprehensive guide to playing green, crafting green, playing against green. And then if you guys want me to move on to the next color, we can maybe start up a poll so you guys can choose what the next article will be for that. And then with One Piece, we're gonna have to dive into the OPO 6 meta, but I feel like the OPO 6 meta is like low-key kind of solved, but we're still gonna work it out. We're gonna figure out what content we can put up on the Patreon for the One Piece fans. So with that being said, thank you guys. Like I said, we have 100 likes, so 100 like goal for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video, the next article, the next post, whatever goes on Universe X. Thank you guys for all the support, and I will see you later.